My dad left my mom when I was 12. I love both of them, but when he remarried, within a year of the divorce, I knew more than I needed to know. I live close to both my folks, and they both have keys to my house in case of emergency. My half-brother, 18, still lives with my father and his mother. He seems like a good enough kid, but he's my dad's son, not my brother. I just went on vacation to Brazil for a couple of weeks. When I got back, my car stunk. I almost threw up from the reek. I found a piece of chicken breast rotting in my car. I don't buy raw chicken breast to eat. I hate the way it feels, but I buy it prepared and fully cooked. I asked my mom about it, and she had no clue. I asked my father, and he told me that he had borrowed my car, which he is allowed to do, and used it to get groceries. I told him that he had to pay someone to clean my car. I got a hold of a detailing company, but they said the smell was in my upholstery, and I would probably need to replace it. I told my dad, and he said that he couldn't afford that. I called my insurance company and asked if I was covered. They said that if my car had been used without my permission, I could report it as stolen, and they would cover it. I told my dad, and he lost it. He admitted that his son had taken my keys and used my car, and that if I reported it stolen, he would get in trouble, and it would affect his college admission. I gave my father 4 choices: pay to replace the upholstery in my car and guarantee the smell was gone, buy the car from me at full market value so I could replace it, give me his car to use until the smell went away, or I would report the car as having been stolen. Since the only extra money he has is his son's college fund, he's in a bind. I told him I was taking his car until he decided. I grabbed both sets of keys and left. I also took my emergency key back and changed the locks at my house. His wife has been hounding me because they must drive around in a stinking car. I told her that I could report it as stolen and have her thief son deal with the consequences. She's had to start taking Ubers everywhere because she couldn't handle the stench. My dad is close to cracking and using his kids' money to pay for my car. I feel like an idiot, and that family thinks I am, but my car was only a year old, and I loved it. Not the idiot. Your father and his son created this situation, and they lied about it to try and save their own skins. Why should you suffer for their stupidity? What was the story of the raw chicken breast? Why was it left in the car? Was it some kind of malicious prank or a bizarre accident? Regardless, it is their problem to fix, and stealing a car, which is what the son did, has consequences. Good questions. I was wondering the same thing. How does one just lose one raw chicken breast in their car after a grocery trip? It's like seeing one shoe alongside the road. Things got wild. You're being very generous, giving them a chance to repair or buy your car. Give Dad a week to decide, and if he doesn't fix or purchase your car, file a police report. I would have already done it if it was my car. Man, oh man, you are the idiot. Are you telling me that you want to call the cops on your own brother instead of just getting the car cleaned, paid for by your father, and waiting it out until the smell goes away? You are such an idiot. You're also committing a crime yourself by blackmailing your own father into buying your car, or giving you his, or spending your brother's college fund, or you'll tell the cops on his son. And by how you described it, you seem to have stolen your father's car too. The bottom line is, only a weak idiot calls the cops on a family member when it can be taken care of by talking about it. On the surface, it appears that OP might be overreacting, but he's got 18 plus years of hostility that he's built up, and this was the catalyst for him to blow up. Dude, you are fully within your rights to expect your car to be restored to its previous condition. Do what you have to do. Tell the family to get your car cleaned up, and you'll quit being angry. Hugs and good luck. I, 18 male, am going across the country for college. I have 4 brothers, teen to pre-tween, and 1 sister, tween. I, the oldest, and my sister, the only girl, have private rooms, where my younger brothers have to share. Only Jay, teen, and Ty, teen, are important in this. Jay has been annoying me for years about moving into my room when I move out, like demanding that he has the right to the room as the second oldest, which I consistently shot down since that sounds like BS. Jay and I don't get along since he feels extremely entitled to everything and is an idiot, such as telling our sister she needed to lose weight and accidentally breaking Ty's Lego collection. Last week when I told him I wouldn't give him my room, he went to our parents about how badly he wanted his own room. My mom set me down, and while not forcing me to give away my room, heavily implied that I should give one of my brothers my room. A couple of days ago, while Jay was on a camping trip with his friends, I offered Ty my room. Ty's a good kid, and I'm probably closest to him out of all my siblings, so it just made sense. Ty accepted the offer, and my parents agreed to it, since everyone seemed happy with this arrangement. Yesterday, Jay came home to us moving Ty's keyboard into my room and started frothing at the mouth at the realization that Ty was getting the room instead of him. My dad quickly shut down Jay's thinly veiled insults about Ty, and Jay ran off crying while my mom went to comfort him. My dad fully believes that it's my choice if and who I give my room to, and that Jay got the private room he wanted, so he can't complain. My mom is annoyed that her golden boy is upset and says I should just give him the room to avoid any more conflict. Am I the idiot? What the heck? And everyone's the idiot here. What kind of parents are these who let one sibling decide which sibling to give a room to? Isn't it the parent's house? This should be the parent's decision, but apparently they don't have the backbone to tell you, when you move out, we decide what to do with your room, not you. Look, kid, it's not your house. I don't even understand why it's your decision to dish out rooms. Also, both of them will get their own rooms anyways, so I don't understand what's so important about your old room. And finally, just because you aren't as close to one of your brothers doesn't mean that's how it should be decided. Overall, all of you screwed this up. Mainly the parents, for allowing all of this to occur as it did and giving you so much power, which you don't seem mature enough to handle right now. Deciding to give the room to the kid that isn't acting entitled is the mature way to handle it. OP, not the idiot. Your mother gave you the option of giving up your room to one of your brothers, and you've done just that. Now both of the next youngest brothers have their own rooms. Is your room more desirable for some reason? Whatever. You were told to pick one of the brothers to take over your spot, and you did. All that said, your parents should probably have made the assignment, but apparently they wimped out and left the decision to you. You had definite reasons why you chose the brother you did. I had a cookout at my place. My daughter's young teen, Switch, goes missing. I contacted family members, and my wife's sister, Kara, said my sister gave it as a gift to her son, Stevie, young grammar school age, for his upcoming birthday. I asked my daughter, and she said it wasn't true. She let Stevie use it to play Mario Kart together, and it went missing after the cookout. My daughter's upset, and I call Kara back, who insists that the Switch is now Stevie's, and my daughter's too old to play anyways, or will outgrow it soon, and it was a gift to Stevie. After this, I contacted my uncle, who's a police officer, and he watched Kara's house and a few of his friends go over and threatened to arrest Stevie and Kara over stolen property. Kara reluctantly gives it back after an incident with the officer where she could have been arrested. They warned Stevie the next time he steals, both he and his mom would go to jail. They let my sister-in-law go without incident. Sister-in-law says Stevie's been crying nonstop and having issues sleeping because he doesn't want to go to jail, and blames me and my family for traumatizing her son. My response might have been heartless because it was, I guess he'll never steal again. Kara thinks he'll be traumatized for life for making a big deal over a stupid game. Am I the idiot for frightening my nephew and making him traumatized for life? Everyone's the idiot here. Screw your sister-in-law, but a grown man threatened a little boy with jail? Are you kidding me? Obviously, the Switch was stolen, and your sister wasn't going to do anything about it, so you needed to figure out an alternative. However, your uncle went way overboard by sending someone out there to threaten arrest. Why didn't he go over there and explain to Kara that stealing is illegal and he needs to switch back? Why were third-party cops sent to the scene? Why didn't you go over there and ask for it back? Why was your uncle involved at all? You're an adult man. Stand up for your daughter and teach her how to appropriately respond to situations like this. Instead, you called in an inappropriate favor and probably did make Stevie, who's a very young child, scared. Not the idiot. Stevie has way bigger problems, like having a mother who likes to steal. Your sister-in-law got caught stealing and is trying to deflect by telling you her son is traumatized. She thought you would just back down and let her steal from your daughter. Completely agreed. His mom is something else. I think people are glossing over that. Apparently, there was an incident that Kara instigated with the officer that she could have gotten arrested for. Listen, sending the cops after a young child is nuts, but that's literally all Kara's fault. She refused to return it and instead insulted OP's kid. If OP had tried to retrieve it himself, he could have been arrested for trespassing or assault if he had tried to go inside the house to get it. Kara reacted so belligerently to the officers that it could have ended in jail for her, other than the theft, and she still was very reluctant, and only the threat of imminent arrest made her cough it up. Yeah, what else was OP supposed to do at that point? Once someone says, "Yeah, I have your crap. No, I won't return it. Pound sand, loser." It's actually police time. Sorry. Yes, it was the nuclear option, and completely over the top. And that's all on Kara for taking it there. She really only has herself to blame. Maybe this scare will keep little Stevie from ending up in prison when he gets older. His mom obviously has yet to teach him that stealing is bad. This intervention may save him. I, 32 female, have 2 kids, an infant boy and a teen girl. My daughter has recently started answering everything sarcastically. I think it's a teenager thing. My son doesn't sleep at night at all. We've tried everything, and he still won't sleep. Last night, we were visiting my sister, and we were talking. I told her how tired I was, and that my son won't sleep at night, no matter what we did. She asked me if I had tried putting him in bed. Before I could say anything, my daughter turned to her and said, "OMG, Auntie, thank God you're here. We could never think of that." My sister told her to be polite, and my daughter answered by calling her a moron. I admit I was laughing. It was pretty funny. My sister was annoyed. She accused me of encouraging this behavior in her and thinks I'm an idiot and that my daughter should be punished. You are the idiot. It's okay to laugh at the sarcasm. It is kind of funny. What your sister said was kind of dumb, but it wasn't malicious, and she didn't deserve to be called a moron. You're teaching your daughter that being mean to people is okay. She will struggle in life because of this, so suggest that you tell her that kind of name-calling is not acceptable. People like that always focus more on brutality than honesty. I had a friend who was brutally honest as a young adult, and now, at almost 40 years old, she's couch surfing and struggling to hold even a basic admin assistant job because her honesty is always getting her fired or kicked out. She has no support system because she's driven most of her friends and family away with her honesty. It's not a good way to interact with other people. Give me a break. If you don't want to be called a moron, don't make moronic suggestions. I'm honestly surprised at everyone coming down on a teenage girl defending her mother. Also, tell your sister to stop trying to raise your kids. I suffer from insomnia and have honestly lost track of the dumb idiot helpful suggestions people give me. Have you tried lavender spray? Warm milk before bed? Taking a bath? Yes, idiot. I have Google and a doctor and a family of insomniacs. I've tried everything there is. Why do you think I haven't done even some bare ABC research on coping with my condition until I met you, my Lord and Savior, and discovered that I should have tried chamomile tea. It's infuriating. It's on par with people suggesting yoga to someone suffering from anxiety. I read this situation as the sister being always like that, never listening, always quick with the helpful advice, especially when it's not wanted. You're not the idiot, and neither is the teenage girl who's probably at the end of her rope with her know-it-all aunt. My husband is legitimately the baby of the family. He's 28, the youngest. He has 2 sisters and a brother, all older, and none of them have kids. There's no extended family, most have passed. I, 29 female, came into the relationship with 3 kids. I'm currently pregnant with my husband's first baby and the family's first baby in 28 years. Now, one of my sister-in-laws and my brother-in-law are the worst when it comes to calling my husband and asking for handouts. In the past 6 years that I've been around, my husband has been called at least once a week to help someone out, whether it be helping people move, helping out financially, babysitting dogs, giving people rides, etc., etc., etc. Over the past 6 years, we have extended our handouts as much as $21K and much more in labor and delivery, and whenever they say they'll pay us back, they never do. The only one I can understand is my brother-in-law, who's currently in prison. We give him commissary money or gifts sent, but that's whatever. However, about 6 months ago, I told my husband, either we stop helping his family or I'm done. We have a baby on the way, and I'm utterly repulsed by his family mooching off of us. He agreed, and he started saying no every time they asked for anything, and eventually, the calls stopped coming in. Well, last weekend, my sister-in-law called and asked us to come over with the kids because it was my youngest son's birthday, and they had gifts for him. We show up, and they give my son a pair of goggles, the $1 ones from Dollar General, and a cupcake. Both sisters-in-law, plus their husbands and mother-in-law were there. They didn't even say happy birthday to my kid. Well, when the kids went outdoors, they cornered us and started talking about how the family needed to band together to help sister-in-law save her house because she couldn't pay her land tax, $1,500, and said, "How much can you contribute?" I immediately got angry, and my husband grabbed my arm and said, "Don't." But they kept pressing about how everyone needed to help out and how they, all of them, were all broke. So I honestly snapped and said, "You guys are nothing but a bunch of mooches," and walked out, getting my kids and getting them in the car. My husband is angry that I said anything because he told me don't, and I disrespected him. Edit. I make more money than my husband does by almost 15K. And no, he wasn't holding up his end of the deal either. He was asking them how much they needed. Therefore, he fully intended to help them, which would have come out of our shared savings. He made it clear to me several times that he doesn't want to help them. He'll complain to me for weeks after being forced or cornered into helping. So I became the emotional bag he uses to decompress. So no, he doesn't want to help. He just has an issue with saying no because he's a people pleaser. He'd rather take it out on me later because that's easier for him. Not the idiot. You contribute more money to your household than your husband, and you have every right to speak up when he's breaking his promise to you. You decided as a couple that you were done handing out money to his family. You kept silent until he started asking how much they needed. Since he would be using shared funds to give away, he had no right to demand that you not say a word. He values keeping the peace with his greedy family over respecting you and the family you're building together. That's not okay. Him lending money from your joint savings is a far more egregious offense than you calling them mooches, which they clearly are. This has gone beyond you disrespecting him. That's a BS statement from him. His giving in to them is affecting your marriage and your financial situation. He's setting himself and you on fire to keep his family warm. He's being generous with your money. Husband is the idiot to you and your future baby. It's time to separate finances as much as possible. He will never prioritize your family's needs over his mom and siblings.